Rome had brought this up in our group chat, and boss, I know you have been speaking on this a lot on your channel, so I'm going to get to you, dog, whenever you kind of get back. But the Dallas Cowboys right now, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of optimism when it comes to our season, but there is some ways that the Dallas Cowboys could possibly make a playoff push. And so, boss, like I said, I know you've been doing a lot of great content on this, man. So go ahead and talk to Cowboys Nation why they should not give up hope just yet when it comes to this Dallas Cowboys season.
It's a principle thing, and it's a momentum thing. I just come from a kind of heart to not give up. That's the cornerback in me. Like, I've been down in big games before, and you got to fight it out. This is halftime of the season. We got a big hole, but you don't quit. Like, the Dallas Cowboys actually originated some of the miracle things. The Hail Mary came from the Dallas Cowboys. We've also seen harder times than this. 2016 was a harder time. 2018 was a harder time. It really was. We had receiver by committee, and we was melting. We had Romo go down, and we had a rookie getting inserted that was fourth string about 3 weeks earlier. So I just can't watch front office make the investment and stay on their neck about making the investment. And when they make the investment, I walk away.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Because a lot of us have been asking for what we got today. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the trade last week, and adding Logan Wilson and being more aggressive. So I understand, not walking away. But DMV, let me ask you, dog, does it feel like it's realistic that we can even make a playoff push?
It doesn't seem like it's realistic, but then you look at stuff like Green Bay last night. Really, Green Bay, who I thought would have been a top team in the NFL on paper, and they were starting the year like that, but they got collapse written all over them. If you look at what's going on right now, all you kind of need for the most part, like injuries happen. There's so much more football left to be played. So if you take it a week at a time, all you got to really do right now with so much football left to play is try and control the things that you can control the controllables,
Yeah, I agree. Mark, how about you, bro? How are you? Because I think I might be alone on this conversation piece. Mark, how are you feeling?
Okay, there's a couple of ways to look at this. Okay, first of all, I'm going to say, don't give up hope. We only have 4% chance of making the playoffs. Okay, it's not very good. The way you actually look at it is, this is our playoffs right now. Every week is a game that we need to win. However, that's not the end goal, because if you really look at today's football, you don't really have that much of a chance in the offseason to actually really do a lot of real action and real football. You got 14 padded practices in training camp. Your starters don't play in preseason. Now's an opportunity to hit the ground running for next year. Start figuring out who are the real dogs that you need to keep and where are the holes that we need to fill. And find out if Matt Eberflus does not make a big improvement on this defense now, then he got to go. You've gone through and invested. And the final point I'll put on this is they need to finish better than they did last year. If they end up being a 6 or 7 win team and you ended up firing everybody last year, you ended up going through and making these trades, getting George Pickens, having Dak Prescott, and you're going to tell me that we end up finishing worse than last year, then that tells me everything you did was been a disaster this year.
Good point. Good point. And Mark, do me a quick favor. Check and make sure that you're going through your microphone audio, because I know how clean your audio is. And you might be coming through your computer audio. So go ahead and give it a check. So, Rome, what is your expectations for the rest of the season, dog? And do you feel like the Dallas Cowboys actually have a chance to make a playoff push?
Well, you already know me. I am.
You got your comeback.
As I told my chat last night, let me be delusional in peace. So I'm a roll with my team till I can't roll no more. It is what it is. You're not going to be where we are as far as like just the team constructed. And then we come out of the bye week. We've added 4 new starters defensively. And now's the time for me to give up. I don't see it. I look at the landscape. A lot of these divisions are about to cannibalize themselves because they got a lot of games against each other. So when you look at the playoff landscape, the NFC West, all them teams that are in the playoff picture have to play each other almost twice. And in the NFC North, it's the same thing. So we're not out of it if we handle our business. And you can't give me Quinnen Williams, and I ain't gonna say Logan Wilson like that's a name, but you can't give me Quinnen Williams, bring back Demarion Overshown, and that's a package deal because Quinnen Williams is going to help him in his return, and then bring me back at least a unknown corner in Siobhan Revel. Let me see what these dudes look like before I just abandon ship. Can I see it? So I'll stand over here alone and be optimistic because I don't know no other way to be. I know what the offseason looked like. It's 9 months of I hope.
What if?
I ain't ready for 9 months of your what if. Let me get there on my own time. Right now, I want to see what this looks like because I don't want to see people that's behind me saying I give up as soon as we look good versus the Raiders brush past me and be like, told you he was nice. No.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I go. The loudest be in the back talking about we done. As soon as we start looking halfway decent, they're going to be in front of me yelling the loudest. So let's just see what it look like.
Yeah. So this is where I might defer. All right. Ain't happening. But I do agree. Yeah, this shit ain't happening at all. I can it's not happening. But I will say this. I'm with kind of Mark. Like it's evaluation mode. And this entire season for me personally has been an evaluation to kind of see, can we start to lay the foundation for what Brian Schottenheimer wants to build? So you got Quinnen Williams, you got Logan Wilson, you're going to get Siobhan Revel out there, DeMarvin Overshown, the list goes on and on. But I want to see who has some fight in them. And last year we got this opportunity when Dak went down, right? We saw players go out there, continue to fight, and actually make a push. I want to see who has that true competitive spirit that Brian Schottenheimer's been talking about all offseason on this roster. And if not, we're going to trim the fat. Also, it gives us an opportunity to evaluate Matt Eberflus. Now, me personally, I think he's probably going to be safe, but now we can sit back and say, okay, maybe the first half of the season, the personnel was a little, you know what I'm saying? So with Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, Osa Odighizuwa, Donovan Zikaraku, James Houston, Clowney playing better, Overshown, Logan Wilson, like list goes on and on. If you still are out there looking bad, then it's a you problem. So me personally, I'm in evaluation mode. I want these players to go out there and compete game after game, but it's hard for me to ask a team to string together 8 wins and they haven't even done it twice consecutively this season.
That's a good point.
So it's a large climb. Unfortunately, I feel like the Cowboys, we didn't do ourselves any service by losing some of these games that we really need to gain ground on, because I've been saying this even in the offseason. Y'all heard me numerous times saying the season starts when we get back from Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So to ask for them to kind of run the gauntlet damn near, because a lot of our losses have been, unfortunately, in the NFC tiebreaker, Chicago, like it's just not gonna work in our favor.
Let me ask you a question,
be an epic collapse.
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather suggest to your players, because the players listen to us?
No. I want them to fight.
Shut it down.
No, I want them to fight.
I know teams that perpetually every year are picking in the top 5, top 10. Ask the New York Jets. And when you get into the mindset of every time things get bad, I'm about to start tanking, you can't pull yourself out of it. Those organizations always picking at the top of the league. I don't want my player. I want them to fight until it's over. I don't want them to be like, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, because if you think about it last year, if you think about it last year, Tuck, and somebody's not here anymore, but last year, this team probably was a special teams botch play away from possibly making the playoffs. Because if you get that and then you get the Washington game, it looked insurmountable then too, until they started putting games together and people started playing football. So, I mean, I get you. If you look at it from a standpoint of you got to be damn near perfect, which this team really does, it looks really insurmountable. But if you take it week to week, it's a little bit different. Maybe in 3 weeks, we talking different. Maybe after this week, we're talking different. But, I mean, I feel you, though. The percentages suggest
he's absolutely right on that. I'm not.
And I'm not saying tank. Now, granted, right, as a draft guy, and having fun, I always say team tank. If either you're going to win it or you're going to lose it, right? That's how I always kind of been, because as a Mavericks fan, I feel like that's always been our problem. But I'm not saying this player should go out there and quit, because I have been saying this has been an evaluation season from the get-go, right? To build those foundations and the pillars for Brian Schottenheimer in the future. I feel like the Cowboys have always had a futuristic outlook when it came to this season anyways. It was going to be a sacrificial season. So go out there and compete, and let's see what we really got. So that way, when we get to the off season, we can make clear evaluation. But yeah, I'm not saying go out there and fold and lay down. No, hell, I'm going to the next 3 games. Shit, I want dubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to see dubs.
10 days of fury, bro. We're going to know everything we need to know.
From setting the proper expectations for the season from a fan. You don't
want to. I get what you're saying is, I don't want to. I'm not going to send y'all on a path that, like, hey, we about to go on a run, and then they come back to tuck you toe. I know what you're saying.
I'm not. Yeah. So okay. So if Philly loses the next 4 games, and we win the next 6 out of 5, and then if Detroit happens, like, I'm not. No. If we get there in December around Christmas time and we are on the edge, okay, then we can talk about it. But we have a long way to go before I feel like we could be starting talking about a playoff push. Like, let's get back on track from a victory standpoint, if that makes sense.
Just take it one game at a time, right? Now,
right.
Let's play the Raiders and see what happens, okay?
Right.
And if we get that game, good about that, then we got the Eagles, okay? And quite frankly, I'm I hate to say this, but to me, that might be the most important game of the season, in the same way that the 1-15 victory over the Redskins was. If we can go through and at least shut those mother humpers up, for a little bit. This team is not going anywhere this year.
Right.
And we have to start looking at this as, how can we hit the ground running next year? And, I've been going through the numbers and things. There's so much money that the Cowboys could get. We could literally get up to about $140 million if they want to next year. They can literally do anything they want to. The question will be is, are we going to get the usual bargain basement shopping, Stephen and Jerry Jones, or are they actually going to go ahead and try and win something? Because you don't have much time with Dak. And if you waste this 8 games and not try and think we're building for next year, then you're just wasting time as usual.
Yeah. And boss, I'm going to ask you this, because I caught your live show the other day, right? Do you think the philosophy in Dallas when it comes to the front office has changed, where we're starting to get more modern? I don't want to say full Philly, but kind of, leaning towards Philly, because I know that Stephen Jones had said some of those things this offseason. They have made some moves, but is it really who they are, or is it kind of just masking some of the mistakes that they made this offseason?
I think we're in a pivotal trial period, because the anger of the fans and the anger in the offseason pretty much had front office humbled. If people remember, it was a lot of anger. Everybody's numbers was down, and everybody's numbers was down because the fans were mad. They was checked out. So Steve in January 27th, he said that we're going to do a deep dive, and we're going to look at some different things, not like we used to do in the past. So we all know in the past that they was heavily on our guys' philosophy. So then